From Fowler Stadium on the University of Rochester campus, it's Section 5 Class C football. The final game between the Leroy Owakin Knights with a record of 9-0 and the Caledonia Mumford Raiders with a record of 8-1. This is Larry Reed along with Rick Amundsen bringing you tonight's game. Rick, we saw these two teams play about a month ago down in Caledonia. They played a game that went into overtime, Leroy winning 21-14, and I know you were there and I was doing the PA, and it was one of the best high school football games I've seen in a while. What did you think of that game?
Larry, I think it was a typical Caledonia Mumford Leroy game. It was a slugfest. There's about 5,000 people out there watching that evening on just a beautiful October evening. And I think you're going to see much of the same this evening. Two run-oriented teams. They're just going to get the best out of each other as they always do, and it'll be a fun evening.
That's right. They both like to run the ball, and so let's just quickly review their offensive strategy probably tonight. On Leroy's side of the ball, I think Justin Osher is going to be the key man. He's their quarterback. He handles the ball on every play, and they do have some good running backs. They have Tom Shaughnessy at fullback, Chad Clark and Mike Tucci at the halfback, but I think the key will be Justin Osher. I know if Leroy can get him out on the corner, they'll be tough to stop. Cal Mum, on the other hand, they're going to concentrate, of course, on Matt Capitelli handling the ball. He's probably one of the best backs in Section 5, maybe even in the whole state, and he's gained about 1,400 yards so far this season, and he's the big threat. Leroy will try to run behind Pat Ashley, their 6'5", 300-pound right tackle, and he's been getting some overtures from some Division I schools, and wouldn't be surprised for him to go Division I maybe next year in college. On defense, Leroy's led by Tom Shaughnessy and Dave Dillow, their linebackers. Of course, Pat Ashley's up down the line, and then Justin Osher will play safety. They're the four key men on their defensive side of the ball. And for Caledonia, Matt Capitelli, of course, is a defensive standout as well, along with Mike Cox and Josh Knopfnagel at linebacker. So we're going to see some good football players out there tonight, and as you said earlier, it should be a real slugfest in what we anticipate.
I think also, too, it's not only we see some great football players, but as you know, some good coaches in this game, too. In typical Leroy and Caledonia Mumford fashion, we've got Brian Moran and Mike Monticelli leading their charges, along with some very capable assistant coaches, too. So it's always interesting to see the strategy that these guys put together, too.
Yeah, I think the key word for both those coaches is preparation. They both put in an enormous amount of time preparing their teams, and obviously it pays off as the results they've had the last few years. Right now, the teams are being introduced to the fans here. We're about a minute away from the kickoff. Reminder that tonight's winner advances to the regionals next weekend in Buffalo. They'll be playing the team from Gowanda that won last night against Portville. And I think the game right now, from what we hear, is scheduled for Friday night at 8:30 p.m. at the UD campus. So the winner will advance to that. And then, of course, if they're successful there, the following weekend they'll play the semifinal game here at Fauber. And, of course, the ultimate goal is to get to the Carrier Dome on Thanksgiving weekend for the state finals. And these two teams both have been there the last 2 years. They won it in 95. They both lost it in 96. And because of Caledonia moving up to Class C this year, only one of them's going to go any further than tonight. But it should be a good game.
Just a gorgeous evening, Larry. The weather definitely will not be a factor this evening. I'd say it's about 40 degrees out here, and there's no precip. We got a real fast surface, and I think that the teams will be able to do pretty much whatever they want.
Yeah, they just finished the introductions, and we should be ready for the coin flip here momentarily. We'll take a short break, and we'll be right back for the opening kickoff.
He throws, and it is Hasker. He's got it. Touchdown.
In football, you can't score a touchdown without concentrating on the game. In school, it's the same. You need to concentrate to learn, and you can't concentrate on an empty stomach.
A donut and a soda may cut the hunger pains, but they don't give the nutrition you need.
I eat breakfast in the morning so my belly don't start hurting.
Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. It should account for 1/4 of daily required nutrients, especially bone-building calcium.
I'm eating my cereal, my orange juice, and I'm drinking my milk.
You'll get those nutrients from whole grains, such as whole wheat bread or cereals, fruits and vegetables, and milk. If your children don't eat breakfast at home, they can take part in the school breakfast program. Even for students who pay full price, the healthy school breakfast is less than half the price of a fast food breakfast.
Make it your goal to see that your kids kick off the school day with a wholesome breakfast.
We're back at Favre Stadium for tonight's Class C final between the Calmum Raiders and the Leroy Owatka Knights. The captains are approaching the center of the field for the coin flip. For Leroy, it's Pat Ashley, number 79, Brandon Longley, number 75, Dan Saban, number 62, and Justin Osher, number 50. For the Calmum Red Raiders, it should be number 34, Matt Capitelli, and number 33, Matt Brand, and the injured player not dressed tonight would be Kevin Sayers, who was hurt about the second game of the season and hasn't been able to come back.
The linesman, Mr. Jim Keenan, the back judge, Mr. Jim Martino, and the clock operator is Professor Mike Palermo.
They're introducing the officials tonight.
Just heard that Mike Palermo is the clock operator. As you know, Mike is recovering from a heart attack, and he was the referee for the first
right, a month ago today, or almost a month ago.
I might say I saw him in the hallway before the game, and he's looking very well, and his recovery is well underway.
Looks like Leroy won the toss and will defer to the second half. Right. So that'll give Caledonia their choice of whether they want to kick or receive the ball. I imagine they'll receive it since they won't have a choice at the start of the second half. Last week against Letchworth in the semifinal game, Caledonia defeated Letchworth 20-9 down in Hornell in a pretty tight ball game. Leroy advanced to the finals by defeating Warsaw 44-0 in a game which they dominated from the opening whistle. One thing I noticed last week, Rick, that Caledonia hadn't done much in the past was they used some of their other backs a little bit more. Number 31, Josh Hayes, the other running back, and their fullback, Matt Brand, carried the ball quite a bit more. And I heard people in the crowd saying they were giving Letchworth a mad attack. Matt Capitelli and Matt Brand back-to-back, several carries in a row, but it was successful.
Right, and I wouldn't doubt if Mike was trying to keep Brian Moran guessing a little bit too, thinking where that ball might be spread out a little bit more tonight, a little bit more than it has been.
You're right. I think, and I also by the same way, Leroy was using a little bit more of a variety in offense last week. They even ran a couple series in the shotgun, which for Leroy is kind of unusual. Justin Osher's very capable back there, but Brian and Mike both believe that the ball should be run most of the time, and that's their offensive philosophy. And as we said earlier, it's been pretty successful over the last 2 or 3 years.
And one of the things that can happen too is that the pass becomes more of a surprise element in the game because it's used so little, and sometimes the pass play will or could decide a game like this, even though the running is the main part of the game.
That's right. A game like this, if it goes like the first one, some unusual happening, even a penalty or a turnover could be the decisive factor. Looks like it'll be Mark Mattice kicking off for the Owatka Knights. He's number 61.
It's like Adam Capitelli's the deep man.
He should be one of them, and maybe Jeremy Foster, number 24. I think. Jason Foster,
number 24. Yes.
Mark Mattice was on the JV team for part of the season, but we brought him up to do the kickoff. Here we go, Rick. We're ready to start it. That was Adam Capitelli on the return, fielded the ball on a bounce at about his own 13-yard line and brought it out to about the Caledonia-Mumford 32-yard line, where they'll take over 1st and 10. The starting backfield for Caledonia looks like number 10, Chris Jones, will be at quarterback, and he'll be complemented in the backfield with number 31, Josh Hayes, number 34, Matt Capitelli, and number 33, Matt Brand. And on defense, I'd keep an eye on their linebackers, number 30, Tom Shaughnessy, and number 99, Dave Dillow. They've been making a lot of tackles for the Owatka Knights. That's Capitelli on the first carry. Picked up about 2 yards off the right side. Tackled by Shaughnessy and a host of other Owatka Knights in there. Give him about a 2-yard gain on that one. You recognize what defense looks like? Leroy's in a even front, 4-man front.
Looks like this time they've got 6 guys up. It's a basic 62.
There goes Capitelli. So he's close to the first down. Matt Capitelli bounced to the outside over on his right side, and he got the first down.
First down,
Looked like Justin Osher made the tackle.
Well, I think you're going to see, Rick, when Caledonia's got the ball, Osher's going to be shadowing Capitelli, and when Leroy has the ball, Capitelli's going to be shadowing Osher. They're going to be lucking each other all night long.
Looks like Sean Ryan is the referee for the game, so we've got a good experience.
Recognize that left-handed signal?
That's right.
That's what I recognize, too.
The full house backfield.
There's Matt Brand, quick hitter up the middle. That's what they used last week a little bit more than I've seen him do in the past. Matt Brand picks up about 5 yards almost on that carry.
Right, Pat Ashley was the main one, along with a host of other Leroy tacklers.
Give Brand 4 on that. He's going to be 2nd and 6. Pat Ashley, you mentioned making the tackle. He's right in the middle of that line for Leroy, number 79. It's hard to miss him. He's about 6'5" and a little over 300 pounds.
I noticed in the first game, Larry, that he has very good feet, so I do think that he is a Division I prospect.
And breath time, Brand got stacked up after a short gain. Dan Savo's in on the pass,
number 52.
Brand did get a couple of yards on that. It's going to be 3rd and a long 3. Most of Caledonia's offensive plays are called by assistant coach Gary Fredericks. He's been the offensive coordinator for several years for Mike Monticelli. There's a little cross buck there. Capitelli picked up enough yardage for the first down. They faked the ball to Brand off the left side, and then quarterback Chris Jones quickly pivoted and handed off to Capitelli. And he picked up the yardage for the first down. They're in Leroy territory at the Leroy 46. 1st and 10.
Pretty good surge that time, Larry, by the offensive line by Caledonia Mumford.
Something that you probably haven't noticed, Rick, haven't not seen too many of their games, but they inserted a couple of new linemen. In fact, the Leroy game, the first time they played was the first time that number 55, Jeremy McWayne, went in on the offensive line. They've also put number 66 in there.
Little cross buck again back to the left, and it's
Brandon Longany, number 75, was the initial tackler. Assisted by Dave Dillow, number 99.
And Shaughnessy was there too, and they had that one snipped out from the start.
They lost about 2 on that, so they're going to be 2nd and about 12. As I was saying, McWayne and Vink have gone in to play the offensive guard spots, and McWayne's a junior and Vink's a sophomore. And one thing that did was that they gave a couple of their players a chance to just go one way most of the time, so they would be a little bit fresher on defense.
It's like Mike Tootsie is pretty much going to the field side, the strong side for Leroy on defense.
That was Capitelli on that carry. Picked up about 5 yards, but after the loss of 2 on the first play, that gives them 3rd down and about 7. They're just inside the Leroy 45-yard line, about the 42 and a half. They've got to get almost to the 35 to get a first down. First big play of the game. If Caledonia doesn't get much yardage here, they may have to kick the ball away. It's a little bit too far out to, I think, go for it on 4th down unless it's real short yardage. There's Capitelli. He's in trouble. But he got out of some of it. But not all of it.
Capitelli gave it a great effort, but
tried to reverse his field, but there are too many black shirts over there, led by Justin Osher, Tom Shaughnessy.
Shaughnessy made sure that the play was strung out and let some of the other walking Knights come in and catch him from behind.
All right, it's going to be a 4th and about 9, so I think Caledonia will be punting the ball. Here again, like I said earlier, Justin Osher handles the ball almost every play on offense. He also returns punts for him. He's back about the 10-yard line with Mike Tootsie standing at about the 20.
Seemed to me that Leroy was fairly certain on that last play, Larry, that Caledonia Mumford was not going to throw the ball. They had the linebackers stepping up real hard immediately.
That was Adam Capitelli who punted the ball. Got a pretty good bounce on it. It's going to go out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. So Leroy will get their first crack at offense, starting at about their own 8-yard line.
Real nice punt by Adam Capitelli. Very effective.
Some of those people that name Mike Tootsie sounded familiar to them. He's playing for Leroy right now, but his father played for Caledonia back in the late 70s and was pretty good running back himself. Now he's on the other side of the name is on the other side of the fence. Justin Osher at quarterback, Tom Shaughnessy number 30 at fullback, Mike Tucci number 33 at right half, and Chad Clark at left half. Clark's got the first carry.
Caledonia started out with a 6-man front there, Larry.
Well, most of the time they're going to, as we said earlier, you and I were talking before the game, Caledonia's going to do a lot of stunning on defense, and they'll give you one look when you come up to the ball, and then by the time the ball's snapped, they'll be into something else. It's pretty complicated with things they do for high school.
Of course, as you know, Caledonia's 6-man front can easily turn into a 44 by dropping off those two ends.
Now, there's Osher up behind the center. Tom Spoto is the center for Leroy, number 50. Again, it's Chad Clark off the right side, met there by Matt Capitelli, who forces him out of bounds. You notice Leroy does go right quite often because they've got big Pat Ashley over there on the right side to lead the way. That time they didn't get much on that one. It's going to bring up a 3rd and about 8. If you remember the first game, Rick, one of the key plays for Leroy was they ran a little counter against that Chad Clark carried for a touchdown from about 40 yards out. I think if I know how much tape they've watched on each other, I don't think there's going to be any surprise plays like that this time. Matt Johnson split out wide right, number 12 for the Oaxaca Knights. He's covered by Ryan Zimber. Backfield is the same for everyone else. Ball carried by Chad Clark up the middle. Looks like he's going to be about 2 or 3 yards short for a first down, so it looks like Leroy will have to punt. Number 12, Matt Johnson, will be the kicker for Leroy. Officials timeout. Neither team on their first offensive series able to mount too much. Caledonia got a couple first downs, but they were forced to punt. Leroy's 3 and out. Barring a mistake, they'll get the ball back. Should have fairly good field position.
Yeah, it looks like, at least to this point, depending upon the outcome of this punt, that Caledonia is winning the field position battle.
That's Adam Capitelli, I believe, back to receive the punt. And I said Matt Johnson, number 12, to do the kicking.
Adams inside his own 50. He's actually sneaking up here a little
Osher
bit.
walked up behind the center. Now let's see what's going to happen. All right. Now there's an example of some good preparation, because last week down in Hornell, they went into punt formation, and Osher went up behind the center like that, took the snap and rolled out to his right and ran about 30 yards downfield for a first down. And at that time, it looked like he was either trying to draw Caledonia offside. Obviously, that must have been what his intent was, because when they didn't move, he took a timeout. So I'm sure Caledonia saw that on tape. Like we said earlier, they've watched a lot of tape on each other, and Caledonia was ready for it. It's one of the things I've noticed over the years. It's amazing how much, how the scouting has improved. I can remember back years ago, it used to be a guy would go with a piece of paper and a pencil, and he'd try to diagram a play, and usually by the time you got one diagram, there were 3 more run, and so the scouting wasn't nearly as complex as it is now.
Coaches put in a lot of time, Larry. You got Coach Monticelli out in the field with his defense. As you said, Coach Monticelli runs the defense, and Coach Fredericks calls the offensive plays.
Got a real nice crowd here tonight, Rick. We're looking out the window here. You see it on the camera a little bit, but this is pretty much of a full house here at Favre Stadium.
Yeah,
they're not standing in the aisles, but they got just about every place filled here.
I would say that this crowd will rival the Class A final or the Class AA final tomorrow.
There's Johnson's punt.
It's a line drive punt, but it goes over Capitelli's head.
He's going to go back, picks it up about his own 37-yard line. He picked up about 4 or 5 yards off of that. Caledonia's going to take over on their own 43. That was a pretty good kick by Matt Johnson. It kind of sailed, I think, on Adam Capitelli over his head, but he did go back and
flag
pick it up.
down, Larry, in the right at the 50-yard line.
Oh, that's going to take away that good field position. There's a clipping penalty. Kind of unnecessary, too, at that point, but it's going to move the ball back to about the 30, inside the 35 from the spot of the foul. Or is it from the spot of where the ball play ended? I guess it's going to be from where the play ended. Not too sure. You have to remember, I'm the guy who didn't know there was overtime yet this year, so.
Yeah, I was at the game, and all the
I wasn't the only one that didn't know it, but I was one of the ones that didn't know it.
5,000 people were leaving, Larry, and I was one of them. So
I didn't know.
I knew
they had it for sectional play because you had to advance, but hadn't learned yet that they were using it in the regular season. So that one got me.
Got Adam Capitelli split out here to the left.
Chris Jones starting from their own 33-yard line. Looks like Josh Hayes on the carry this time.
Nice little gain. In fact, a very nice gain. About 6 or 7 yards. Number 25, Mike and Nor was in on the tackle.
Gain 6 yards for a second down, 4 to go.
Caledonia's got about a 2nd and 4 here as Hayes picked up about 6 on first down. There's Matt Brand into the middle for a short gain. Not much there.
The standoff that time with both lines. There wasn't any push one way or the other.
Ashley, Dan Sava in there for the Oaken Knights to kind of stack things up. So maybe gained a yard on that. It's going to make it 3rd and 3.
3rd down, 2 to go for the Raiders.
Caledonia's used both Ryan Zimber and Chris Jones at quarterback during the year. And for most of the games, Zimber has started and Jones has come in to relieve him. But looks like tonight they're going with Jones to start.
Caledonia's running basically out of their full house wishbone backfield. And there was one heck of a hit by Shaughnessy. Tom Shaughnessy.
It could have been. We heard it way up here. Let's see where they spot. That's pretty important where they spot it, though. Capitelli, I guess it's going to be 4th down. It's pretty close.
They're not measuring. It's 4th down.
It's about
almost a full yard shy.
Not quite. About the length of the ball, less than a full yard. Looks like Mike's going to punt the ball here. Mike Monticelli sending in his punt team. It's a little bit too early in the game and too far downfield to risk going for it here, especially after those last 2 tackles.
Osher's back deep for the Oaken Knights.
Adam Capitelli does the kicking for the Raiders. Good snap, not much of a rush by Leroy.
Off the side of his foot. And takes a very advantageous bounce for the Leroy Oaken Knights, and it's going to end up right on the 50-yard line.
That punt only gained them about 10 yards on that play. It was off the side of his foot, as you said, and then it took a backward bounce when it hit the turf. So Leroy came out of that exchange of punts with pretty good field position. They're starting at midfield. 2:50 to go here in the first quarter. We have no score. This is Leroy's 2nd possession. Now they're going to the shotgun. I mentioned how it was unusual. They're going to it early. Osher's in the shotgun right now. And this is what they want to do. They want to get him out.
Trying to loosen things up a little bit, obviously, and Caledonia had that one.
That was Josh Nothnagel, number 50, was in on that tackle. Maybe Mike Cox helped him out.
We've had a couple of vicious hits here the last 2 plays.
Good, solid hits. Good, clean football.
Absolutely.
Loss of about 4 on that play. Now, I know Coach Moran wants to get Osher involved in the offense as a ball carrier as much as he can. That was not like just a quarterback keeper.
We're doing the shotgun again here.
You got 3 receivers wide over here on the right.
It really looks like they're trying to spread out the Caledonia defense, Larry.
That time he got around the corner. As I mentioned in the pregame, I think if they can get Osher out there on the corner, that would be a huge advantage. And that time he made it. Mike Cox missed the tackle as he tried to turn the corner, and he gained about, he was 4 yards behind the marker, so he picked up about 13 on that. They're going to have 3rd and 1.
Nifty run by Osher, Larry. He has extremely quick feet. He tippy-toed around a couple guys down there and made him miss.
Justin's a very good athlete. Now 3rd and 1. Now this is a situation where Coach Moran might be even thinking 2 downs here because he's inside the Calmont 50. Chad Clark makes it on this drive.
A real nice run and also some good up front blocking as Caledonia really had almost a goal line defense up there. They had all the holes covered.
You notice that was to the right again behind Pat Ashley. On Leroy's side of the ball, Coach Moran, along with Coach Capitelli, call the offensive plays. Andrew Palladino handles most of the defense. They send their plays in by alternating the split in. That's Scott McKenzie, number 13, who's split out here to the right now, and Matt Johnson will be the other one that'll go in.
We had a little miscue there, and the fullback ran into the quarterback, Osher.
He actually knocked him ahead for about 2 yards. Usher kind of felt like a billiard ball at that when he got banged ahead, and then Capitelli hit him coming the other way, and he got banged back. But he ended up with a 2-yard gain. The ball's on the Cal Mum 33-yard line. We're down to the 42 seconds to go here. It might be time for one more play here in the first quarter. Neither team been able to mount an offensive threat yet.
Matt Johnson running the play in this time for the Waukegan Knights.
Tom Spoto up over the ball, the center. This time they're in a tight set. Nobody split out. Chad Clark tripped up at the line, falls forward for about a gain maybe of a yard or so.
That time, Larry, Caledonia had 9 people up in the what we call the box, right up close to the ball, and it's going to be tough for Leroy to run the football with 9 people in that box.
All right, that's the end of the first quarter, Rick. So far, nobody's been able to mount much of an offensive threat. We've got a 0-0 ball game here after one. We'll be right back with the second quarter after this short break.
In an emergency, doctors you've never met will have only moments to make decisions about your care. They'll need information quickly, your conditions, allergies, medications, physician and family contacts. But you may be unconscious or in so much pain that you can't recall critical details, and the risk of complications can increase significantly. MedicAlert provides this information within seconds. Help us help you by wearing the MedicAlert emblem. Call now for free information.
We're back at Favre Stadium on the U of R campus. This is Larry Reed and Rick Amundsen bringing you tonight's Class C Section 5 football final between the Cal Mum Red Raiders and the Leroy Waukegan Knights. We're ready to start the second quarter. There's no score in the ball game. Leroy has the ball on the Cal Mum 34-yard line. It's Justin Osher running off the right side. He's tripped up over there short of the first down.
And he's tackled by number 35, Adam Capitelli.
It's going to be 4th and we'll see where the guy puts the box down. It's going to be a little more than a yard, just a little more than a yard. So I'm sure Leroy will go for it. They're inside the 30 now. They're at the 27. Big play for Leroy. 4th and 1. A long one, but it's 4th and 1.
Very, very fast first quarter.
Well, the ball wasn't put in the air except for punts.
Right. So
if you were a betting man, do you think they might go over to Ashley's side on this?
I think they just may go after that big guy over on the right-hand side.
No, they went up the middle, but they got it. They got it. He needed one, he got a couple. That was Tom Shaughnessy, the fullback. First down for the Waukegan Knights. There's a player shaking up a little bit over here on the Brandon Long, and he's slow to get up. I think they're going to have to take a timeout here.
John Steele is in on the tackle.
Number 75, Brandon Long, and the defensive or offensive tackle, defensive end, shaken up. Section 5, at games like this, they always have a trainer on duty here at the field, so I'm sure that he'll be taking care of a couple of coaches going out. Coach Sullivan. Looks like number 77 may be going in to replace him in the lineup for Leroy. That it would be Wally Scott. They're talking along and seeing what the problem is. So many coaches around him, it's kind of hard to tell. Looked like it was either a knee or an ankle the way he was moving around down there. This is probably the most sustained drive that either team has been able to get going here in the first quarter, plus a few seconds of the second. And again, if you'll notice, most of the time it's been Justin Osher who takes the snap from center and carries the ball himself. And I know Coach Brand was going to emphasize that in his game plan this week.
It's like he's also giving Osher some leeway, Larry, to pick his holes and read the blocks, because he is a good 7 to 10 yards back off the center.
Yeah.
And as I said before, he's got very quick feet, and he's a tough individual to tackle.
Well, he's run the ball a lot during the year, but most of the time it's been out of the T formation quarterback spot where he's rolled out and either run the option and kept the ball or run a quarterback keeper. Now, as you said, with him being 7 yards or so behind the center, he can see a little bit better what's happening up front and pick his hole. And they've taken advantage of that on this drive. Brandon Longley coming off the field. Looks like it might be an injury to his left knee, left leg. He's kind of dragging that one a little bit, I think. Looks like number 77, Wally Scott, went into the lineup to replace him at left tackle. Tom Spoto up over the ball. Dave Dillow is the tight end, number 99. Pat Ashley, the right tackle, number 79.
Caledonia's got 9-10 guys right up there in the box, so they're looking for the run.
Pitch back this time. Chad Clark on the carry on a little sweep. Osher was up under center that time and just ran the old student body sweep to the left. Clark got tripped up, but not until he gained about 6 yards on the play, almost 7. The ball's inside the Kelmum 20. The ball spotted at about the 18.5-yard line.
A little bit of a pro-style run there, Larry, where they get everyone going laterally, and then the running back cuts up and tries to choose the hole.
Okay, we've got about 10 minutes and 20 seconds here in the second quarter. Leroy's had the ball now for about the last 5-6 minutes of the game, and they've driven from midfield down to inside the Caledonia 20. There's Shaughnessy, the fullback, spins away from a tackle. He's still on his feet inside the 10. Great run by Tom Shaughnessy. Great run there.
Absolutely a very tough run by Shaughnessy, Larry, but also just some great blocking up front by the Milwaukee Knights. The guys in the black shirts are really sticking with their blocks.
That's going to give Leroy a first down and goal from about the 7.5-yard line. And Shaughnessy was hit at the line of scrimmage, spun off, got hit downfield, and spun again, and still gained a few more yards. So now it's first and goal for the Owaka Knights. Sava, Ashley, and Dillow on the right side for Leroy. Tom Spoto at center. Justin Osher going to run a sweep to the other side this time. Chad Clark cut inside. Got down to about the 4-yard line. Ball is spotted inside the 5. Now it's going to be second and goal. Leroy mixing up their play calls pretty well here. They ran Osher a few plays. Now they've gone back to Clark out of the sweep. They ran Shaughnessy on a quick dive, so they've mixed them up pretty well.
They definitely have Caledonia guessing a little bit right now. And they're doing all this with Caledonia, as I said before, having at least 9 guys right up there on the line of scrimmage.
On their inside to 10, they're going to have all 11 up there probably within the... There's Shaughnessy on the fullback dive. He stopped short of the goal line, but he's down about the 1. It's going to be third and goal from about the 1. Number 84, Dan Nichols coming out of the game, and number 12, Matt Johnson going in for Leroy, running in the offensive play. Ball's on the 1.
Jeremy McElwain was in on that stop, and
now it's going to be 2 downs to score a touchdown here. Leroy does have a place kicker in Scott Van Alst, but I imagine they're going to try to get a touchdown. Osher on the sneak, he's in. There's a touchdown, the first score of the game, number 20, Justin Osher on a quarterback sneak behind a good charge from his offensive line.
Absolutely, a real good surge from the Milwaukee Knights offensive line.
That gives Leroy a 6-0 lead with 8 minutes and 31 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Normally on most situations, number 90, Scott Van Alst, does kick the extra points. Osher's the holder. And anytime you got Osher in the game to hold the ball, you got to be aware of the fact that he's a quarterback and also a runner. But I think they'll probably kick this first one. There's the snap, the put down, the kick, and it was good. Van Alst's kick splits the uprights, and Leroy takes a 7-0 lead.
Larry, that drive, again, all running plays. But as you mentioned, they mixed those running plays up very well. They were going left, they were going right. They went up the middle, they went off tackle, and they swept the ends. So they have Caledonia guessing a little bit right now, and just where those runs are going to go.
It was a good play selection by the coaching staff, good execution by the offense, and it was all started by a short punt from Calmum that gave Leroy possession at midfield, and they took advantage of the good field position and they drove it right in.
Good point, Larry. Coaches now say that the special teams, the kicking game is basically making up 1/3 of the game, and when you have a punt like that only nets you 10 yards, you give the other team good field position. Sometimes it's real tough to recover.
Well, so now we'll see if Caledonia can get something started on offense. Because I think they saw that Leroy can move the ball on them, and if they give them the ball too many times, they could have a long evening here. But we know that Caledonia is pretty resilient. They've come back before, so we'll keep an eye on things for you. It should be number 61 should do the kicking here, Mark Mattice. for the Owatkin Knights. And it'll probably be Foster and Adam Capitelli back to receive for the Raiders. Oh, looks like Dillo is going to handle the ball this time. Number 99, Dave Dillo. He's did some of the kicking before, especially when they wanted to kick the ball along the ground. Now, Matthijs' first kickoff was pretty good. It got down to about the 10, 12-yard line. Dillo is going to kick this one, however. Eight and a half minutes to go here in the second quarter. Dillo approaches the ball, and he kicks it along the ground, as we said. Covered over there on the right side.
The ball did squirt out, Larry.
Leroy recovered it. Number 68. Number 68. Dan Norstrand's getting all the accolades from his teammates.
Ball had a whole lot of spin on it, and it appeared at first that the Caledonia Mumford player had fielded it, but it spun out of his arms, and Leroy...
Yeah, the Caledonia player definitely had a line on it. He fell on it, but with all that spin, it must have squirted out. You've seen footballs bounce a lot of funny ways, especially in the bottom of a pile. Dan Norstrand recovered it for Leroy, so they're going to take over first down. Again, good field position at the Cal Mum 44-yard line. So there's the first big break of the game, other than the bad punt that we mentioned, but first turnover of the game. There's a short timeout here by the officials. Mike Cox is trying to get his helmet fixed. He's going to have to go to the sideline. No, I guess he's not going to the sideline. He's just going to have to get another helmet.
Larry, what would you say of the size comparison between the offensive line for Leroy and the defensive line for Cal Mum? It appears right now that Leroy is winning the battle of the push right here.
I think they have a little bit of an advantage in size.
Obviously they do with the
Dan
big guy.
Saber, the right guard, and Pat Ashley. Dan Saber probably is about a 215, 220 pounds, and of course Ashley's up there about 300. Tom Spoto, the center's good size too. So they're pretty strong on that one side. That was Chad Clark on the carry.
Nice little sidestep to the right to evade a Cal Mum tackler.
Josh Hayes in on the tackle for Cal Mum. They picked up about 5 on that. And you're right, the offensive line is getting a good push because he got 5 on that. It didn't look like he went that far, but the line had moved everybody back a couple before he even got a hand laid on him. So.
And the Leroy backs look very quick to me too, Larry. They're picking their holes, and when they do make a move, they make it quickly, and they get going north and south again very, very, very rapidly.
Little counter play. That time Clark got tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Looks like number 77. That would be Jim Gilman, I believe.
Jimmy Gilman, yes.
On the tackle there for the Raiders. That stopped him right in his tracks. So it's going to be... Is it fourth down? I thought it was only third down. Did I miss a down somewhere?
It is third down, Larry.
I thought so.
It is third down.
The box had 4 up, and I was trying to think. They only ran 2 plays, but there goes Andrew Palladino into the lineup for the Owatkin Knights. It's going to be third and about 4 from the Cal Mum 39. Here again, Coach Moran may be thinking 2 downs because his offensive line has been controlling things. Shaughnessy on a quick hitter.
Very quick hitter.
Got the first down. No, a little bit short, I think. Going to be about a yard short. Got to about the 35.
You got to remember, Larry, with those people running those down markers over there, they aren't the experienced people like a lot of them at the Leroy or Caledonia fields.
They don't have the year's experience.
That's right. Those are just officials over there, and they're bound to make a mistake once in a while.
Well, here we go. 4th and 1. I think Leroy's going to go for it. They haven't put the punt team in. They're going to try to make this first down. I don't blame them. I think the way their offensive line has been moving things, they're pretty confident they can get a yard, or at least make one heck of an effort at it.
They've been really using the quick
hitter.
Watch
Osher on the sneak. Fullback Shaughnessy, I think he got it. He slid off the pile to the right, and he picked up enough yardage for the first down. Real quick hitter there.
I don't even know if you could call that an off-guard play. It looks like it's right off the tail of the center guard.
Yeah, it was a big pile. He just kind of slid off to the right and fell forward. He needed 1, he got 2, so it's going to be first down Leroy at the Cal Mum 28-yard line. Actually just inside the 28.
Caledonia's in need of a stop here. See if they can turn the momentum around. The momentum definitely is in favor of the Owatkin Knights.
They've been playing defense now for about the last 8 or 9 minutes anyway. Part of the end of the first quarter and all of this quarter, they haven't had an offensive play, so defense is getting kind of tired out there. There goes Andrew Palladino, stop at about the 30-yard line. Andrew Palladino must be in there for trying to see which one of the other backs is out.
Capitelli on the stop with a nice hit. And
Chad Clark must be out of the game right now. I see he's sitting on the bench over here next to, looks like they're taping up Brandon Long and his ankle down here on the sideline. Number 31 is sitting down on the bench also. So Andrew Palladino's in there replacing him at running back. I don't know if Chad's hurt or just out of gas or whatever. He's sitting there on the bench talking to one of the trainers.
The ball has not been in the air as of yet, and Leroy is doing all this running against Caledonia defense that basically has
Here comes Osher out on the corner again, trying to get to the corner. Tackled from behind by number 20, Mike Cox. Osher tried to get out on the corner, but Caledonia strung that one out fairly well. He picked up a couple, but that's part of their strategy, I'm sure, to get him out there on the corner because he can use his quickness and his moves to gain some yardage. This time it's going to be 3rd down and about 6.
His next 2 plays are big for Cal Mum. They really do need a stop here.
Yeah, I think a stop on defense and take over the ball, even if they don't score before halftime, will just make them a whole lot more confident. Osher's in the shotgun this time. This is what something new. There's the snap. He's going to
the first pass of the game. And, nope, it's not.
I think he got the first down. It's going to be close, but I think he got it by about the length of the ball.
I do think that he was intending to pass, but he has the ability to run, and he changed his mind quickly.
Officials timeout. It must be that close. They may have to measure. It's one of those left foot, right foot spots. If he puts it down by his left foot, he's got it. If he puts it down by his right foot, they're going to measure it.
I guess he reminded me a little bit of Doug Flutie there, Larry. That was he's looked like he was going to pass, and he scampered around there.
I'm sure the play called was a pass play, but I know that Justin has the option, if he sees some open lanes there, to go ahead and take it, because he's pretty good carrying the ball, too. Real close. First down. Half the football. First down for the Owatkin Knights at the Calmon 22.5-yard line. We've got 4:10 to go here in the second quarter, and it's Leroy leading by a score of 7-0. Leroy has had the ball for the entire second quarter and for the last about 3.5 minutes of the first quarter. So they've had it now for almost 12 minutes. There's 4:02 to go as they come up to the ball. Tom Spoto over the ball. Dan Sava, Pat Ashley to his right. Justin Osher under center. Takes the snap, gives it to Andrew Palladino. No, he faked. Intercepted.
Intercepted by
Adam Capitelli.
There's a break that Caledonia needed. The momentum in these games is so fragile sometimes, Larry.
I thought he gave the ball to Andrew Palladino, and he kept it, dropped back, and he was floating it. And Adam Capitelli made a nice athletic move there as he went high to intercept that pass.
That was a one-hander, Larry. He caught that down with his right hand. That was a very nice interception.
All right, so he ran it back out to the Caledonia Mumford 31-yard line. And like I said earlier, and you mentioned also, even if they don't score, it's just stopping Leroy from scoring has got to be a plus for them.
Right, they want to play a little offense here, too, and make the Owatkin Knights play some defense.
Chris Jones up under center. Handoff given to Matt Capitelli. Breaks 1 tackle, breaks 2 tackles. Finally knocked down at about the 38 or 39-yard line. That's one thing I've seen quite a few of the Caledonia games this year, along with a few Leroy games. And Capitelli has great balance. He gets hit, and it looks like he's going down, and he regains his balance and gains extra yardage that way.
When you combine toughness with that low center of gravity that he has and the ability to put that shoulder down there, you got a great running back.
Second down, it's 3 for the Red Raiders. 3:06 going to go here in the second quarter. Chris Jones up under center. Hands the ball off to...
Well, Leroy didn't have their defense set that time. They were still hopping around in there in the middle there, and Caledonia had a quick count and blasted right by the lineman.
That was Matt Brand, the fullback, on the carry for the first down. And Caledonia has the ball now out at their own 44-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. The clock says 2:51 to go here in the first half.
Can feel a little bit of a momentum shift here. Caledonia's really hustling up the ball.
Caledonia's spreading things out here.
Got 3 wide out here to the right. They're going to have to call a timeout.
Something wasn't right. They were missing somebody. Not only did they have to call a timeout, they also lost about 20 seconds of game clock there, too. So something wasn't right. That was an unusual formation, and it kept getting more unusual as time went on. We got 2:34 to go here in the second quarter, and the game has been pretty much as expected, a hard-hitting, in-your-face football game. Leroy has controlled most of the play here since late in the first quarter. This is Caledonia's first offensive series in the second quarter.
The only pass that's been thrown has been intercepted, right? And changed the complexion of the game very quickly.
I see Chad Clark is still sitting on the bench down here on the Leroy sidelines. He doesn't look to be seriously injured, but maybe just a little, he was playing both ways, maybe just a little lightheaded. Coach Moran's over there talking to him right now, but he would be in the defensive backfield if he was able. I know that, so he's not in there. I think he's probably being replaced by maybe number 10. Let me check the roster here. Yeah, number 10, John Scanlon, the backup quarterback, is playing out here on the left side, and I think that's where Chad usually plays.
Got some good crowd participation going on here at the game right now, Larry. The
little YMCA. Well, that'll be over now. Here we go.
Right now. Back to action there.
Jones going to throw the ball. Nice sliding catch. Sliding catch by number 80. That's Jeremy Foster.
Jeremy Foster's number 80, right?
Yep, he's there.
Nice-looking little pass there by Kelmum.
And Jeremy Foster has been in on different occasions during the year as a wideout because he does have good speed and good hands. And they threw a little slant pattern across the middle. Jones laid it right out there, and he made a sliding catch. Ball now inside the Leroy 40 at the 38-yard line, 1st and 10. We're down to 2 minutes and 18 seconds here to go in the second quarter. Ball's given to Matt Brand, the fullback, who bowls his way through the middle. Gets about 5 yards on the play.
A real nice run. Good surge by the Kelmum offensive line.
You and I were talking, Rick, we watched a little bit of the first game tonight between Clyde and Dundee, and the team doesn't seem to be aware of the fact that there's a minute and 50 seconds. They're taking their time getting back to the huddle. To me, that's they're wasting 10, 15 seconds each play here that they wish they had. I know they have 2 timeouts left, but they've still got 33 yards to cover if they can. Oh, there's another miscalculation. They got to take a second timeout. Something's not getting relayed correctly here from the bench to the line of scrimmage. Coach Frederick's out on the field trying to straighten this out, but they had to take another timeout.
Kelmum's offensive line in that last play before the timeout had a nice surge. John Steele, Tim Fink, Jeremy McElwain, those fellas up front did a real nice job.
Number 75 is also in there at right tackle. I think that's Kevin Denmark.
Kevin Denmark, yes.
Center should be number 50, Josh Nathnagel. He's probably the lightest up there. Goes maybe 160 or 165 at most.
Obviously, both of these teams have some very skilled and tough running backs, some people at the skill positions. But when a team is, as both these teams are running teams, you know that both coaches understand that the work really gets done right up there in the trenches. Referee Sean Ryan out there indicating that the
got some fans over on the hillside getting a free view of tonight's game. I didn't notice them. I'm kind of cut off from that point of view, but there's a good little group over there on the hillside. I don't know if they're University of Rochester students or
just a beautiful evening, nice little preppy setting here at the
University of Rochester. There's Capitelli coming out here in the slot formation. Leroy's having a tough time getting over to cover him. Osher finally came over. Throw down the middle. Another pass from Jones.
I think he's getting up rather slowly, but no,
that was Adam Capitelli made that catch. They brought Matt Capitelli over here in the slot, and Osher came over from his safety spot to cover him, and that kind of opened up the other side.
Right, and obviously, I'm sure Coach Monticelli and Fredericks planned that, trying to get the safety out of there. They've noticed that Osher is tailing Matt Capitelli.
The ball's on the 15-yard line, first down with a minute 13 to go here. So the clock, there's the same formation as Capitelli comes over in the slot.
Unusual, 3 passes for
No, incomplete. So Jones's pass intended down in the left corner of the end zone for number 31, Josh Hayes. Coverage back there by number 10, John Scanlon. And I thought maybe that time they were going to go over here to Matt Capitelli because he had one-on-one coverage, and even though it was Osher, I think it would have been a good matchup for Caledonia to try to take advantage of. It's 2nd and 10 from 1:03 to go, 2nd and 10 from the 15-yard line. Now they're back to their traditional full house backfield. Hayes goes in motion. Draw play to Capitelli. He's tackled at behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up 3rd and 10, or about 3rd and 12 now.
Jeremy Cochran in on that tackle, and
Caledonia takes their final timeout here. So, you know, sometimes they bring Capitelli over here, I think, as a decoy to try to spread the defense out, and they might be well off to take a look at him. I think he's got a chance to be open on a pass pattern. Well, we'll see. We've got time, 52 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. It's 3rd and 12 from the 17-yard line as Caledonia threw a couple of passes from Chris Jones. The first one going to Foster, and the second one going to Adam Capitelli that brought them down into this position. And, of course, they'd like to get a score here before halftime to even things up. It'd be kind of interesting if they do score because they have kicked a few extra points this year, but most of the time they go for 2. So if they go for 2, they'd either be up by 1 or down by 1. But, of course, they got to get a touchdown before you can worry about that. That's their last time out, so if they don't get a first down here, they're going to have to hustle up to the line of scrimmage and call a play almost at the line of scrimmage. Chad Clark is still sitting on the bench for Leroy. I see Brandon Long, and he is up on his feet now. I hope he's going to be able to go back in the game or not. Third down.
To me, too, Leroy's moving a lot of people around on defense, and a couple times they haven't got their people in the right position by the time Caledonia is ready to run their play.
Here we go. Well, they did go to Capitelli, but the ball was too high. I think the ball would have been down. He had a chance to catch it. It was over his head.
Yeah, if the ball was on the mark, that probably would have been 6 points.
So now it's 4th and 12 from the 17-yard line. 49 seconds to go here in the second quarter. They did exactly what I was suggesting there. They used Capitelli as a target that time, and he beat his man on a slant across the middle, but the ball was over his head. He couldn't reach it.
And he probably has a size and obviously a strength advantage on any of the Leroy defensive backs.
They had 2 guys out here covering him that time. I wouldn't be surprised they go right back to that.
It's like man-to-man coverage. It's intercepted, though.
Tom Shaughnessy.
Shaughnessy's got it, and he's run out of bounds at about the 36-yard line.
Well, they went back to the same play, and Shaughnessy, being a smart linebacker, stepped right in front of the pass.
It looked like he was going to be open, but again, as you said, Larry, Shaughnessy smelled that one out, stepped back in front of it, and ended the Cal-Mum drive.
All right, that puts the ball on the Leroy 36, about the 35 and a half when they spotted, I guess. Almost the 36-yard line. Now, Leroy still has a couple of timeouts, depending on what their strategy is going to be here. I think I'd be surprised if they put it in the air. They may put Osher in the shotgun, but I doubt if it's to pass the ball.
See what happens here on their...
Oh, they're going to take a timeout right now.
They're going to take their timeout, yeah. See if Coach Moran wants to try to get some yardage on a couple plays and see if he wants to go for something here or if he's just going to play conservative and take his lead into the locker room.
Well, I think what he's probably most concerned about is, like you said, taking his lead into the locker room. He
wasn't happy about calling that timeout, though, Larry. I'm watching him on the sidelines.
Well, probably not, because they only had 2. Now they're down to 1, I think. Caledonia doesn't have any, but with only 1 timeout and 37 seconds, he would like to have another one in case they do get a couple of decent plays, even if it's just a call, maybe have Van Alts come in and try a field goal or something. If they got down there. Now he's only got 1 timeout left. I wouldn't be surprised to see Osher back in the shotgun, but again, I think it's more run-oriented than pass-oriented. You don't want to throw the ball to the sideline where if it is picked off, they got a clear line to the other end zone. If you're going to throw it down the middle so that if they do intercept it, you can tackle them. Got 37 seconds remaining here. Matt Johnson going wide right. Mike Tootsie in the slot along with Andrew Palladino. Osher's in the shotgun. And he's going to run it.
Right up the middle.
Nice tackle by Mike Cox. Mike Cox ran it, nailed him at about the 40-yard line. Osher had some room there. If Cox didn't get him, he might have had some big yardage, but pretty sure tackle by Mike Cox.
They're going to let the clock run out here, Larry.
Down to 19 seconds. It doesn't look like Osher's in any hurry to call another play, so it looks like they're going to take that 7-0 lead into the locker room with them at halftime. Down to the last 10 seconds here. Neither team's, or Caledonia doesn't have any timeouts, and Leroy's not going to even call a play, so that'll be it for the first half. Once again, at halftime in the Class C final, the score is Leroy 7, Calmon 0. We'll be back with the second half after this break.
I don't think everyone knows from right and from wrong. If you have parents that stole from other people, the kids learn from their parents and they do what their parents did. So if the parents stole, they would probably steal.
As a parent, you are the greatest influence in your child's life. You set examples of what's right and wrong. And stealing cable TV is not only wrong, it's a federal crime. What kind of example are you setting for your children?
We're back at Faber Stadium on the University of Rochester campus for the second half of tonight's Class C final between Caledonia and Leroy. Leroy leads at halftime by a score of 7-0. Before the halftime ended, or as it ended, they had a couple of presentations I'd like to mention. For the Defensive Player of the Year in Section 5 for Class C, the winner was Justin Osher, and the Offensive Player of the Year in Section 5 for Class C was Matt Capitelli. So both players received their awards at the end of the first half. Right now we're getting ready to start the second half. A few stats from the first half. First downs, Leroy had 6, Calmon 5. Rushing yardage, Leroy had 82, Calmon 46. Passing yardage, Leroy 0, and Calmon 36. Total yardage, both teams ended up with 82 yards apiece. Caledonia had 2 turnovers, an interception and a fumble on the kickoff, and Leroy had 1 turnover on an intercepted pass. So the fact that Leroy held the ball there, Rick, and this is Larry Reed, Rick Amundsen, by the way. I thought I'd better mention our names. But anyway, the fact that Leroy held the ball for about a 9-minute period at the end of the first quarter and started at the second quarter and ended up with a touchdown on a 1-yard run by Justin Osher, followed by Scott Spanall's extra point, was really the only decisive thing in the first half. Otherwise, it was kind of just back and forth.
Right. It's going to be interesting to see any adjustments that are made after halftime. As I was mentioning in the first half, Larry, especially Calmum's defense, when Leroy was running the ball so well on their touchdown drive, they made some adjustments and they put 9 or 10 people up there on the line of scrimmage in the what we call the box. And it could be interesting to see whether or not Leroy does a little passing here in the second half to try to loosen them up.
John Steele's going to kick off for the Raiders, number 69. He's got the ball lying flat at the 40-yard line. Here's his kick, and it goes right into the hands of number 54 for Leroy.
Typical Calmum kickoff.
Brian Pangrazio, who caught the ball and fell to the ground, which was probably the smart thing to do. He didn't want to risk a fumble, and it gives Leroy excellent field position here. And to start the second half, they're going to get the ball at about their own 47-yard line. So Caledonia's been known for that squib kick, but usually it goes along the ground a little bit more and takes some funny hops. That one went right into Pangrazio's hands, and he gave Leroy an excellent starting spot here at their own 47-yard line. We still got the same backfield that finished the half. I think, from what I understood at halftime, Chad Clark injured an ankle there. That was the fullback, Tom Shaughnessy, on that first play. I was just looking along the sideline here to see if I see number 31 along the sideline anywhere. He's not in the ball game right now. Andrew Palladino, number 32, is in there for him. He injured an ankle in the first half, and I don't see him out there.
Mike Cox is in on the tackle for Calmum.
Shaughnessy picked up a good 3 yards on that play. It's going to be 2nd and 7, right at just across midfield into Caledonia territory.
That quick hitter, Larry, has been very, very effective for Leroy right off the right side of the center.
And Shaughnessy gets off the ball very quickly, too, to make it really hard to stop. There it is again. This time Osher keeps it. He stopped him for a short gain that time. He tried to follow his fullback right off the right side and maybe picked up a yard. That's about it. It's going to be 3rd and...
Josh Nothnagel in on the stop for Caledonia Mumford.
3rd and 6 from just inside, about the 49-yard line of the Red Raiders. Let's see what Osher's going to call. He runs over towards the sideline to get Coach Moran's call. Now he's jogging back to the huddle to call the play. And it's a big third down here. If Leroy could get something going here to start the second half, then Caledonia would really be in a hole if they're down by 2 scores.
Calhoun really has everybody within 6 yards of the line of scrimmage.
There's Osher again on a keeper. This time he's tackled again. Number 77, that's Jim Gilman on the tackle. Osher gained a short, maybe a yard on that one at the most, so I think Leroy's going to have to punt the ball here. So Caledonia comes up with a stop on their first defensive series as Leroy tried to run Osher on 2 similar plays there, second and third down, and they only gained about a yard on each one, so it's 4th and about 6.
It appears to me, Larry, that Calhoun is almost daring Leroy to pass the ball.
It looks that way, but well, they only threw one in the first half, and it was intercepted, so maybe that's why. Matt Johnson back to punt.
Shy.
Adam Capitelli deep to receive for Calhoun. It's fake. It's a fake. Justin Osher, Matt Capitelli. Oh, Matt Capitelli missed him. I don't know. Where are they going to spot him?
Capitelli had him for...
I don't think they made it. He didn't. Oh, yes, he did. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong line. He only had to get to the 43. I thought he was marking it.
Very rare missed tackle for Matt Capitelli.
That's right. He had a shot at him that would have stopped the first down.
But you have to give Osher some credit. Again, he's elusive. He's hard.
You have to give Leroy coaching staff some credit for that call right there. So that was a big play for the Knights as they move the ball now to just outside the Calhoun 40. I thought it was at the 45. That's why I was thinking he didn't make it. But he had it by 2 or 3 yards. So it's 1st and 10 from just outside the Calhoun 40. Osher takes a timeout. Something went wrong there.
Timeout called by Leroy.
Timeout for Leroy. And again, that fake punt. The ball was snapped to Justin Osher. He circled the left side, and Matt Capitelli had a beat on him, but he bounced off Capitelli's tackle and made the first down.
Keeps their drive alive, obviously. Again, I think it's going to be interesting to see what the play calling is for this first and second down. In the defense right there before Leroy called timeout. Again, Caledonia had 10 people within 5 yards of the ball.
And the Atlantic Sports Broadcasting Network on behalf of Section 5, taping tonight's final for resale. If you're interested, stop by the ticket takers area, main entrance, pick up an order form. Thank you.
Okay, we're ready to go here. Timeout for the Oaxaca Knights as they came over to check on that play call. As Osher got up under center and decided something wasn't right, called a timeout. Now he goes back up 1st and 10 from the Calhoun 40. Ball's given to Tom Shaughnessy, the fullback, on the carry. Crosses the 40, gets down to about the 37, 38-yard line.
Mike Cox and Louis Boyle on the stop for Calhoun, Larry.
Louis Boyle, defensive end, and Mike Cox, the defensive signal caller at linebacker, were in on that tackle, along with, I think, John Steele had a hand in there, too. It'd be 2nd and about 7. Timeout for the officials here as we got an equipment problem with the looks like something on Matt Capitelli's uniform needs fixing. Either his face mask or something there. The referee's looking at it. For you people that enjoy watching these sectional contests, on Wednesday evening, the Batavia Greece Olympia game will be broadcast on Cable 5 starting at 6 p.m. Those two teams will be playing for the Class A championship. It'll be Batavia and Greece Olympia on Wednesday evening on Cable 5. We think it's 6 p.m. Our director is not sure, but it's Wednesday for sure. Probably 6 p.m. Okay, we'll go with it. Time's back in here in the game. As Capitelli comes back on the field, it's going to be 2nd and 7. Fullback again on a quick hitter. I just got a correction on my previous information. The Batavia Greece Olympia game is Thursday, not Wednesday. I'm sorry for the misinformation. It's Thursday at 6 p.m. Okay? So if you enjoy watching these Section 5 games, that would be another one that you can view.
Big third down play here, Larry.
Yep. Shaughnessy picked up about 3 more on that play, and now it's going to be 3rd and... Actually, I would say they're in 2-down territory myself, but it's 3rd and about 4, unless they lose something.
Caledonia really has it stacked up in there.
Shaughnessy again. Looks like he's close to the first down. He may have crossed the 30-yard line the way the referee's marking the ball. It's a first down. They're having a lot of trouble stopping Shaughnessy. He's quick off the ball, and with that push, the offensive line is getting to the right side there. He's able to get 3 or 4 yards every time.
He actually hung with his block that time and took his man downfield. And
the right guard, which has got to be Dan Saber, has got to be doing a decent job in there too. And the ball spotted now at the Calmont 29-yard line. Another thing, of course, is they're eating the clock up here. We're down almost to 8 minutes in the third quarter. Osher up under center. On a quarterback sneak, he runs into Gilman, spins off, and gets another yard or so. Nothing fancy here, Rick. They're just going right at him, head to head.
Just said Gilman had him wrapped up there, and Osher managed to slip away from him and at least get a couple yards.
You know, he tried a quarterback sneak. They tried two or three fullback quick hitters with the fullback. That time Osher kept it himself. Whether they're trying to get Caledonia to kind of tighten up a little bit, then go outside on him real quick, I don't know. We'll have to see.
2nd and 8.
Osher directing Andrew Palladino to a proper location. First time Mike Tucci's carried the ball, and he stopped right at the line of scrimmage. I think they're a little bit...
Real nice hit there by Josh Hayes, Larry.
Missing Chad Clark in there on offense.
41, Josh Hayes.
Nice hit by Hayes on that last one. It's going to be 3rd and about close to 9 yards here. They've got to get down to just inside the 20. And the ball is spotted right now at about the 28-yard line. So let's say it's about 8.5.
I know it's kind of hard to think of throwing the ball here when you're a running team.
I think Osher's going to go out on the corner with the option to throw it maybe. There he is. This time he's
lost the ball, Larry.
The ball came loose in there. Looks like the ball came loose. First down, Caledonia. They recovered it. Osher that time trying to get a little extra yardage as he was hit, and the ball came out, and there was no really signal right away. A Caledonia player came up with the ball in his hands, and referee Sean Ryan turned and signaled Caledonia's ball. So there's another break for the Red Raiders as they take over now at their own 27. 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. So that's the second turnover of the game for Leroy. First one was an interception down near the goal line. So Chris Jones is back at quarterback for the Raiders. Let's see if they can get anything going offensively. Josh Hayes getting to the outside. And he fumbled the ball, but I think it went out of bounds. Justin Osher on the tackle reached in and slashed the ball away, and it went out of bounds over there in front of the Calmont bench. So Hayes picked up about 9 yards on that. They're going to spot the ball close to the first down marker. Going to be close. In that kind of situation, I think it's where the ball goes across the out-of-bounds line.
Yes, I believe it is, Larry. It's been interesting to see how Caledonia approaches this now. They really weren't that effective offensively in the first half. Really, the passing game, unusually, was where they got their yardage towards the end of the half.
They got their yardage, and then, of course, they turned it over, too. Here comes Capitelli. There's the first down. He's been held relatively in check by the Owaka Knights, gaining something like 28 yards in the first half, but you know he's a threat to break one at any time. The ball is out over the 40 now, about the Calmont 42-yard line. Tom Shaughnessy, number 30, calling the defensive signals for the Knights from his linebacker spot. And, of course, John Scanlon, we mentioned, has taken over for Chad Clark in the defensive secondary. He's number 10 out on the far side of the field, covering the split end. Jones looking to throw the ball, puts it up, intended for Capitelli. He made it out of bounds. Referee signals out of bounds. He caught the ball over John Scanlon, but he was out of bounds, so it'll go as an incomplete pass. Scanlon had pretty good coverage on him. He made a nice leaping catch, but he was out of bounds when he came down on the turf. So that brings the ball back to the 43 and makes it 2nd and 10.
The Caledonia players reacted like it was a questionable call, but I'd have to say from this vantage point, it looked like the referee made the right call.
Well, he had a much better angle than we did from the far side of the field, and it was definitely close to being out of bounds, so we got to go that he was accurate. Capitelli hit at the line in the backfield, actually, then picks up a couple before he's snowed under by a host of black jerseys. Got the ball out to about the 45. It's going to be 3rd and about 8. Capitelli was hit in the backfield that time.
The yardage has been coming mighty tough for Matt so far today.
Ball just across the 45-yard line, so it's between 7 and 8 yards here they need for a first down. 5 and just under the 6 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Capitelli again bounces to the outside. He's hit 2 or 3 times and stacked up well short of the first down, as Leroy is just swarming all over Matt Capitelli out there.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Larry. I'll tell you, that is a swarming defense, and the Waukon Knights are playing some great defense right now, making it very difficult for Calmum.
It's going to be 4th and 5. Ball spotted at the Calmum 48-yard line when they finally put it down. So I would expect Adam Capitelli to drop back into kick formation. Leroy expects the same as Justin Osher gets back there, and John Scanlon. You know, John's going to go up, and Mike Tucci's going to go back as the short man on the punt, in case it's kind of a short kick. There's Adam Capitelli, gets the snap. No rush by Leroy. Nice punt this time by Adam Capitelli. Osher feels it, fumbles the ball. It looks like it could be a Caledonia recover. He does recover it. Number 20 or number 70? Which is it? Looks like number 70 is getting the congratulations down there. I'm not sure who recovered it.
Looked like Shane Gardner, number 23, Larry.
Yeah, we'll give him the credit. I think I heard the PA say that. Number 70 was down there, too. Osher that time, it looked like the ball kind of knuckled on him as it was coming down, and it was a little bit short, and he tried to field it, and it bounced off his fingertips, and the Caledonia player was right there. So there's a big break for the Raiders.
Number 70 is Dustin Preston. If he
was down
there, in fact, have a hand in that one, too.
All right, here we go now. First down at the Leroy 16-yard line. Big break for the Raiders.
We're going to have a penalty on Caledonia here, I believe.
Caledonia went before the snap. They moved. It's going to cost them 5 yards. So that's kind of stuff that we said earlier. In a game like this, a mistake like the fumble, we thought, or a penalty.
Headlinesman Jimmy Keenan over on this side caught the end.
It didn't look. The right side of Caledonia's line was moved before the ball was snapped. So it's going to put it back on the 21 now and make it 1st and 15. So Caledonia had a great situation. Now they're going to make it a little tougher on themselves. Chris Jones coming into the huddle along with number 32, Brent Seaver, as Louis Boyle goes to the sidelines for the Raiders. First down. They're going to that spread formation that they went to in the first half. Jones is going to keep the ball. And he gets down inside the 15, down to about the 11 or 12-yard line before he's tackled.
Again, I noticed that Leroy is still shifting themselves into their defensive positions when the ball is being snapped, and gives the impression that there's a little confusion sometimes for some of the formations that are being presented by Calmum.
On 3rd down and 5, Rick, here's the ball is just outside the 11-yard line, and they've got to get to just about the 6-yard line for a first down. So it's 3rd and 5. Caledonia got a little unbalanced left line, the left side of the line. They're unbalanced to that side.
Capitelli caught, and the
whistle blew.
The whistle blew, and
number 71 was it for the Waukon Knights?
Yes, it was number 71.
Jeremy Cochran in there, and he had hold of Capitelli.
He may have just released when he heard the whistle, or Capitelli may have sprung loose, but the whistle did blow.
Caledonia takes a timeout here. Now they're going to be faced with a 4th down. Okay, referee Sean Ryan still in timeout Calmum, and it's going to be 4th down and about 8. Again, the ball spotted at the 14. They've got to get to the 6. So let's see what Coach Gary Fredericks and the offensive unit here comes up with on 4th down. Leroy's defense is really toughened up down here near the goal line, or as they call it on the big guys, the red zone inside the 20.
bad. Both teams used some of their precious timeouts here already in the third quarter.
Yeah, well, I can understand Kelly taking one here because this is a crucial call. The one that Leroy had to use, I think, was just because of a mix-up. And there's 3:47 to go here in the third quarter. And, of course, Caledonia trailing 7-0 wants to make sure everybody's on the same page on this call right here. Coach Palladino, the defensive coordinator for the Knights, is coming off. Tom Shaughnessy, calls the defensive signals, checking with him what he wants done. They got a water boy out on there, got to get off the field. You got Adam Capitelli split way over here on the right side. Ball is incomplete. Chris Jones' pass intended for Adam Capitelli is incomplete. I must have missed another down somewhere. Oh,
this is fourth.
I thought that was fourth.
This is fourth down coming up.
Okay, the penalty, is that what I missed?
The penalty, yeah, that's right. The penalty was a...
that play didn't count because the penalty was before the ball was snapped. Okay, because then Jones ran one and then Capitelli ran one. I thought that was 3 downs, but that was a dead ball penalty, so it didn't count. Okay, it's fourth down.
Leroy's pass defense looked pretty good that time. They
had good coverage.
All the guys were covered.
Pass, I think, is complete, but it's not enough for the first
very
down.
Close to that first down marker.
It's short, I believe.
The Leroy players are acting like it's
first
short.
down. Yeah. The pass was complete from Jones, but as they say, the receiver's got to know where that first down marker is. I suppose in high school it's a little tougher, especially when you're not accustomed to be a passing attack. But they came up about a yard short almost, at least a half a yard. Because when they turn around and go the other way, the ball spotted at the 7, and they had to get to the 6. So it was within a football's length, I think, Rick.
I think the major event for these teams would be to complete the pass, and it would be nice to think that they would know where the first down marker is, but that may be secondary for a non-passing.
Well, I don't think, like I said, I don't think they've practiced too many of those. Make sure you're at the marker. There's 5 yards against Leroy, or if it's half the distance, maybe if it's inside the 10. The left side of the Leroy line jumped. Either the center forgot the snap count, or 3 or 4 guys on the left side forgot it, 1 of the 2. It's going to put it back on about the 3. So now it's going to be first and about 13 and a half, 14 yards to go for the Owatkin Knights. We're down to 3.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. That's one thing with these running attacks. The clock goes pretty quickly.
If Caledonia can come up with a good defensive stand here, it would help them have some real good field position. Also, it's tough punting out of this part if Leroy does happen to have to punt.
There's the first. Shaughnessy, I think. Osher kept the ball. Faked it to Shaughnessy and kept it himself. Gained about the length of the penalties. Back out to about the original line of scrimmage. Maybe just a little short of that. Let's call it 2nd and 10.
Real gutsy run. He was hit, and he kept those legs chopping and gained a few extra yards.
Matt Johnson running into the lineup for Leroy as he replaces number 99, Dave Dillow, bringing in the play from Coach Moran.
Nice run for them. Gives them a little bit of room to operate.
2nd and 10. Justin Osher, who's handled the ball an awful lot tonight for the Owatkin Knights.
Got a fumble. It's in the end zone, Larry.
It's either a touchdown or a safety.
I think we're gonna. Well, the ball's definitely loose. We have to see how this one.
It's a touchdown or a safety. One or the other.
It's a touchdown for Caledonia Mumford.
Let's see who's got it.
As you were just mentioning, Osher has handled the ball a few times, and that time I don't believe that he got the football.
Mike Cox, is that number 20? Mike Cox, the linebacker, who's you mentioned quite a few times tonight being in on tackles. We covered it. And, of course, in the end zone, once it went in there, it was something for Caledonia, either a safety or a touchdown. Of course, they'd rather have the touchdown, I'm sure. So that's a big break there.
It's a huge break, and that definitely was a ball that we had a mishandled exchange from the center, and I don't think that Osher ever really had that football.
And then somebody kicked it, and it rolled back. It was out on the 7 or so, and then it rolled in the end. Actually, I almost went out of the back of the end zone. It got back as the soccer line, as far as that yellow soccer line. It almost went out.
This is a huge play here, Larry, the extra point.
It sure is. Caledonia is going to go for 2, I think.
Looks like they're going for what would be, at least at this point of the game, the win.
Well, Leroy maintains their 7-6 lead. 2 minutes and 36 seconds to go here in the third quarter. So the extra point attempt was no good. But a little bit of momentum shift maybe over to the Red Raiders side of the ball here.
I believe we've had 6 turnovers now, and finally one of the turnovers turns into some points. This time to Cal Mum's advantage.
All right. That'll make it, well, there's still a lot of time left. We got 2:35 to go here in this quarter and all the fourth quarter. So I don't think Caledonia will be, well, if they kick it out, an onside type kick, it's because they do that all the time anyway. It's not because they're trying to recover it. But
like you said last time, though, Larry, I don't think that even though they do squib kick the ball, I think that the initial kickoff of the second half got away from them. And usually they try to kick it along the ground and get a little more...
especially on the turf, they like to get it going, and sometimes it takes some funny bounces when it's kicked that way, so we'll see. Leroy ahead 7-6. John Steele, number 69, is going to tee it up for the Raiders. Actually, probably won't tee it up too high if it's the normal style kick.
Christian Alexander deep for Leroy.
Christian's got good speed. He was... had a nice game down at Cornell last week as a backup when he played most of the second half when Coach Brand didn't use his first string offense because they had such a lead in the game. Okay, here goes Steele's kick. Well, that one goes right directly to number 49. Not 49. It was a 40-something. Let's see who got it. 40.
It was 49, Larry. He's not on my roster.
Not on my year. That's why I didn't think there was such a person. But could have been a JV who's been brought up at the end of the season, so that's possible.
Well, they've had 2 hot kickoffs to handle here in the second half, and they have handled both of them fairly well.
Good field position.
But I'll tell you what, those have been dangerous kicks because they have been kicked very hard.
Good field position here for the Knights as they start at their own 45. A spread formation over here. We got 2 slot men. Caledonia looks a little bit confused about what to do. Snap to Osher, and he's snowed under. That was a running play all the way, Rick.
Sure was. He didn't even look to pass at all. First one there was Jim Gilman, the 77, putting a good lick on Osher.
Loss of about 3 on the play. Ball's back at the 42-yard line. Tom Spoto, the regular center, I don't know if he was out on that last. It must have been he was out because he just came in. Number 53, Pete Green, was in there for him, I believe it was, and Matt Johnson also comes out, but he does on every other play anyway as they alternate plays with the split ends. 2nd down and 13. Osher up under center. Pitches the ball back to Mike Tootsie. Caledonia seems a little more aggressive on defense here.
The momentum might be with Cal Mum right now.
Well, let's not forget, too, that Leroy is missing Chad Clark, one of their premier running backs. He hasn't played since early in the second quarter. Tootsie comes up gimping a little bit there on after that last hit.
Capitelli and a host of other Cal Mum tackles in on the stop.
Looks like Spoto came back out, number 50.
Yeah, Larry, I've noticed there a couple times in the first half they have been alternating running their plays.
That could explain, maybe one of them snaps for the shotgun and one snaps for the T-snaps, you know. 3rd down and about 12 for Leroy. Osher keeping the ball. Ball
intercepted. Capitelli.
Adam Capitelli.
And he's going to get a real nice run back to the 25.
I don't see any flags out there, Rick. Interception by Adam Capitelli.
Well, I guess it's answered my question why Brian Moran doesn't throw the ball when Cal Mum has 10 people up there in the box.
Well, they had a guy deep that time that was wide open. When Osher looked like he was going to run, Caledonia came up, and they had a black shirt down there about the 30-yard line with nobody around him. But Osher was trying to throw the ball while he was running sideways, and he just couldn't get enough on it. And Adam Capitelli stepped up and made the interception. So another big break for Caledonia. 50 seconds to go in the third quarter, and they have the ball now at the 25-yard line. So they haven't been able to convert on offense. Let's see what happens here. Chris Jones up under center. They're going to Capitelli. Matt Capitelli. Picks up about 9 on that play. Capitelli.
They have given him the first down. Sean Ryan's indicating it's a first down.
Okay, he got 10 then. He was hit about the 15, 16-yard line. He fell forward. I think you're going to see Capitelli handle the ball here. I think Caledonia senses that the momentum has shifted their way, and they're going to go to the horse. First down at just inside the 15-yard line, so they can get another first down. Counter play to Hayes. Josh Hayes going off the left side. Actually got quite a bit out of that, Rick. He was stacked up, but he just kept moving. He picked up maybe close to 7.
Leroy really needs to rally around right now and come up with a stop. There's obviously been a huge momentum shift with some big turnovers here.
Ball's at the 9-yard line, and it's going to be second and about 4. That's the end of the third quarter. We've got a good one going here, Rick. It's 7-6. We've got a quarter to play. We'll be right back after this short break.
More than 140,000 Americans have joined Peace Corps. Returning home, their experiences last a lifetime. Meet Lily Lindsay, a teacher in Virginia, and Scott Truex, a mayor and business owner in Colorado.
The challenges that I faced as a Peace Corps worker were the same. For me as a public schools teacher, now I have a more global view.
The one aspect of the Peace Corps that really helped me in business and as the mayor of Crested Butte was learning how to work with people.
Changing America and changing the world. Peace Corps, the toughest job you'll ever love.
We're back at Favre Stadium on the University of Rochester campus. We're ready to start the fourth quarter of what's turned out to be a pretty exciting Class C final between Cal-Mum and Leroy. Leroy held a 7-0 lead at halftime. Caledonia scored with about 3.5 minutes to go in the third quarter on a fumble that they recovered in the end zone. They missed the 2-point conversion, so Leroy held a 7-6 lead. Caledonia has just intercepted a pass and returned it to the 25-yard line, followed that with a run by Matt Capitelli for 10 yards, and then Josh Hayes for about 6. So as we start the quarter, it's second down and about 4 at the Leroy 9-yard line. The ball goes to Matt Capitelli, and he's tackled in the backfield.
I was going to say, Larry, that I think the break for the quarter there might be a real ally for the Oaxaca Knights because they needed a break there.
Tom Shaughnessy knifed through that time and tackled Matt Capitelli for a loss on the play back to about the 13, 14-yard line. So they're facing 3rd and 9 here. Now, as far as I know, Caledonia has tried one field goal all year, and it wasn't successful. So I don't think that's in the coming here. Capitelli up the middle. Picks up about, well, that was a good gain. He's going to be down about the 7-yard line.
Sure was a good gain. A real good surge from that offensive line.
Here's the biggest play of the game so far, Rick. It's going to be 4th down and about 3 for the Raiders. And their time is taken by the referee. Somebody got a shoe out there? Is that what they're doing? Somebody's fixing a shoe, I think. I don't know if it's Capitelli or somebody else.
Looks like it's
Capitelli? It's got a 4 on the jersey. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it is Capitelli. It's like we have about we have a real long 2, almost 3 yards to go.
Yeah, they've got to get. Down. It's going to be this is the biggest play. We've said it a couple times, but as the game goes on, they get bigger, and this is the biggest. I'm looking for Capitelli to run that same play he just ran. There it is. I think he got the first down. He had to get inside the 5, but not to the 4. Yeah, he got it.
Got to give some credit to that Cal-Mum offensive line. Well, real good surge on that play.
Both lines have had periods where they've been dominating, and then at other times the defenses have been able to penetrate. So it's been a real up and down football game here. Caledonia right now has the momentum. They're firing up. They're running up to that ball right now. They want to get on it. They're going quickly. Capitelli bangs off the right side. Did not get into the end zone.
A little bit of a spin and a turn there, and picked up a little extra yardage.
Down to about the inside the 2. Wait till they unpile. We can't see for sure where they're going to spot it. Second goal. I just don't think you're going to see anything fancy here. I think they're going to tell the interior lineman, fire off that ball, and we'll be right behind you. Looks like it's inside the 2, just out, almost on the 1. Second and goal. 10 minutes to go here in the final quarter, and a real good football game again. Capitelli leaps into the end zone. There's the touchdown for the Red Raiders. Matt Capitelli on a 1-yard plunge makes the score. Calmont 12, Leroy 7.
That's a big-time move right there. That's the kind of stuff you see in Division I college football. That was a real nice leap over the offensive line.
Yeah, he just took one step, got the handoff, and just vaulted into the end zone. So now Caledonia, I imagine they're going to go for 2 here again because they don't kick the extra point very often, and having missed the first one, doesn't make much sense they do it now. Here they come, 12-7. Trying to make it.
3 guys split wide to the right.
Jones is tackled. Number 79, Pat Ashley, the big lineman, got in there and tackled Jones around the ankles and knocked him down. So Calmont does not convert on the extra point.
Larry, that was just as much as a big-time play as Capitelli by Ashley.
Pretty good for a 6'5", 300-pound lineman.
You better believe it.
So pretty good agility there.
That was a real nice play by the big fella.
So it's 9:59 to go in the final quarter. Calmont jumps on top, 12-7. And now, of course, Leroy's got to try to get something going offensively. And I do think they're missing Chad Clark in that backfield, Rick. I know they have a variety of runners, but I just think that he's kind of like the stabilizing factor. And without him, they seem a little unsure.
And they're also they're featuring the quarterback on most of the runs.
They were going to feature the quarterback anyway, but now they've got to almost entirely feature him. So I think it's going to be him and Shaughnessy now. Shaughnessy inside and Usher on the corner if they can get something going.
The quick hitters with Shaughnessy have been effective. They've been good for 2 or 3 yards every time, but when you're behind, sometimes the 2 or 3 yards don't.
They've got plenty of time, so that's not a real big factor yet, but it could be later down the road a little bit. I keep looking for 31, and I just can't find him out there, so I don't know if he's in the locker room or if he's... But that's where he is. I just can't find him out there on the field. Looks like Steele would be doing the kicking here for Calmont. And again, they've had the last 2 kickoffs have been line drives. This is another squibber that doesn't go very far. So Leroy's got excellent field position again as the ball was covered by Brian Tringrazio.
You can see why Calmont doesn't kick their extra points or field goals, Larry.
Well, they've been doing it for years, Rick. You know that, but I understand the idea, but I think they're supposed to get it a little bit further past that first line. But let's see what the Oaxaca Knights can do as they come out now trailing for the first time, 12-7. Like number 32, that's Chad Clark's replacement. If it is, Andrew Palladino. Gain of about 2.5 on the play.
He put his head down and really gave it his all running up there for a nice gain.
Couple yards gain there. We're down to 9.5 minutes here. Let's see what the Caledonia defense can do. They need to get a stop because without those extra points, a touchdown is all Leroy needs.
Again, Caledonia's got 10 people up there in the box.
There's Shaughnessy on a quick hitter. This time he doesn't get much. Somebody had him around the legs right away. Maybe got a yard or so. That's about all. Rick, this has been a real hard-hitting football game, especially on the line of scrimmage. We haven't seen a lot of open field, hard hits, but on that line of scrimmage, they're battling.
And as you mentioned a few moments ago, the momentum has changed.
I think the umpire got banged a little bit on that one. I noticed him kind of gingerly walking around there as he spotted the ball. That can happen. That's one of the worst positions an official can have is the umpire. He stands right behind the line of scrimmage, and those guys are moving when they come across there sometimes. We got an official's timeout here because something's wrong. Osher turned to referee Sean Ryan and said something, and Sean blew the whistle to stop time. I don't know, something wrong with the ball maybe? Maybe it's got some water on it or something that makes it a little bit hard to handle. Big play here for the Oaxaca Knights because if they don't get some yardage here, they're probably going to have to punt the ball away because they're at midfield. Although we saw them try a fake punt earlier in the game from just a little bit further upfield than this. Counter to Tucci. He didn't get much. Number 20 down at the bottom, Mike Cox. Matt Capitelli up on top. Tucci gets maybe a smidgen or whatever small amount you can name.
And I think a little bit of help from Gilman in there too, Larry.
I couldn't see. I knew that Cox was in there. I saw him get up quickly. 4th down and about 6. So with 8 minutes to go in the game, Leroy at least is going to line up in punt formation. Of course, we know that they faked it last time. Caledonia's not buying it. They're not putting anybody back. They're not buying it. They're not buying it. But snap goes to Johnson, and he kicks it. And it goes into the end zone. So Leroy will go on defense. Caledonia will have the ball at their own 20-yard line. Now, wouldn't Coach Monticelli like to see about a nice 7-minute and 45-second drive to eat up some clock here? Leroy's defense now has a challenge. They've got to stop things.
I wouldn't doubt if we see Leroy reaching for that football a little bit too, trying to cause
they'll be trying to strip him. You're right, and I don't think you'll see it in the air. Big game here. The winner of this game goes on to play the Section 6 representative, which is Gowanda. They beat Portville up in Buffalo last night. There's Matt Brand, I think that was the fullback, for a quick hitter for about 5. So Gowanda and the winner of this game will play on Friday evening at 8:30 at the UB campus. We're not sure if it's at the regular UB stadium or one of their auxiliary fields, but it's on the UB campus.
Jeremy Cochran in there with that tackle.
Just a little over 5 yards on that play for Matt Brand, so it's second and about just less than 5, not much. Down to 7 minutes and 15 seconds here in the 4th quarter. Capitelli going around the right side, comes up close to the first down at the 30-yard line. It's close. He's Sean Ryan's waving his hands to stop the clock until he gets a look at the spot. First down for the Raiders.
Matt got hit about at the 28, Larry, and he managed with his strength to lean forward and a little extra surge to get to the 30.
Something you don't realize. I saw him play last week down at Hornell, and I was on the sidelines. He got hit time after time at the line of scrimmage or in the backfield even, and he just bounced off people and gained 5-6 yards. Nothing big, but every one of those was all on mostly on his own. Matt Brand, fullback. No gain on that one for the fullback.
Standoff between the lines there. There was no surge at all, and Leroy held their ground. And
it's too bad, Rick. For the last 2 or 3 years, it's been really great. I've got to see both of these teams go down to Syracuse all the way to the state finals. One year they both won. The next year they both lost. But unfortunately, Caledonia moved up a class this year, and only one of them is going to be able to continue any further than tonight. And they're 2 good football teams, very good foot.
2 good football teams, and if these towns weren't so close to each other, this very well could be the state final right here, Larry.
Flag on the play. Somebody moved. That's going to put Caledonia in a hole because I think they had a legal procedure penalty, and it's going to put them back 5 yards and make it second and about 14. Little things like that you don't really think about. Well, it's only 5, but that makes it a lot tougher to get that first down. And if they have to punt, then Leroy's going to get, the ball that much sooner. So it's second and 14. Now the ball back at the Calmum 25-yard line. Actually, it's about second and 15. That was about a 5.5-yard penalty. Crowd's still hanging in there. Nobody's leaving this one.
Referee Sean Ryan trying to get the clock operator's attention to get that clock a-winding. A little delay to Capitelli, Larry. A nice run.
Look at this, Rick. Oh, he almost broke it. Is that a flag or a piece of equipment? I think it's a piece of equipment.
I think it's a piece of Capitelli's shirt.
I think you're right. There's something laying there about the 22-yard line, but I think it's a piece of somebody's jersey. Oh, he didn't quite get the first down, but boy, he got a lot more than he thought he was going to get. It's going to put it up to about 3rd and 1, where it could have been. How many players from Leroy had a shot at him that time?
I'll tell you what, that's a run for the highlight film right there.
Oh, there's one where they got to fire off the ball.
You want to show some young kids effort? That was it right there.
Boy, that's close.
We've got a fumble. And then we've got a big break for the Milwaukee Knights.
I didn't see it come loose. It was on the other side of the pile, but I saw the referee or one of the officials ran in there and signaled first down going the other way. So there's a fumble. I don't know. I didn't even notice who the ball carrier was on that play. Did you?
No, I didn't catch it.
It might have been, I'm not sure, it might have been Hayes. I don't think it was Capitelli, but...
I was ready to say that it looked like it was enough yardage for a first down, and all of a sudden we're pointing the
there
other
goes
way.
Leroy now with their big opportunity as they take over just inside, 5 minutes to go, just inside the Calmon 40-yard line. Osher, he still got the ball.
He went in and he came out the other way. That was a nifty run.
I think that was the path was blocked, so he got a little spin move and came out.
In the same light as the last Capitelli run that we saw, these two guys never quit.
Ended up picking up about 15 on that play. The ball's now down to the Calmon 24.5-yard line. We're down inside 5 minutes now, but Osher made a big play out of what looked like nothing.
I know, Larry, you've seen a few of these games over the years, and so have I. And this is a typical Calmon Leroy knockdown, drag-out fight. It's a great game.
The thing this year, Rick, is we got 2 of them. There's Shaughnessy, tackled by Mike Cox. Mike Cox weighs about maybe 160. Tom Shaughnessy's probably 190, 195, but Cox had him down around the ankles and pulled him down. Gain of 2 on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 8. We're down, again, keeping an eye on the clock, 4.5 minutes to go. If Leroy can convert for a touchdown here, it's going to be awful tough for the Red Raiders and a little bit of time they'll have left. They've got to ask their defense again to do the job. Palladino. Comes up just short, effort by Andrew Palladino.
There's some great efforts out here. He was hit, and those legs kept churning right after he was hit, and it never stopped.
It's going to be 3rd and about a yard, Rick. 3rd and about 1 from just about the 16-yard line. Yard and a half, now about a yard where he spots it. It's a shame one of these teams has to go home after tonight. The season is over because they both deserve to keep going. Shaughnessy on a quick hitter. Got the first down. He's just outside about the 11-yard line. Tom Shaughnessy just fired off the ball on that.
He's up there 3 yards with about 4 of his linemen too, Larry. Got real nice surge from the offensive line there.
He's so quick off the ball, I'm amazed Osher had a chance to get him the handoff. Of course, they've been doing it now for 2 years, so I guess they got the timing down pretty good on it. 4 minutes. We're approaching 4 minutes here.
The last several plays we've had offensively by both teams is magnificent effort by the running backs. They're keeping their legs churning every time, even after they've been hit.
There it is again, Shaughnessy again. Slides off to the right, gets about 4 yards. Down at the bottom.
I believe that was Gilman on the tackle.
Gilman, steal. Ball spotted at the 8. It's going to be 2nd and 6. Clock's becoming a factor as we're down to 3.5 to go here. Great football game. We thought the first one was good. This is just as good. Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining. Delaware probably wants to save theirs in case they get the ball back if they're behind.
Osher with the keeper.
Got tackled. Trying to get out to the corner like we talked about. He didn't quite get around the end that time. We're under 3 minutes now. 3rd and about 5, maybe a little less. They can get a first down just inside the 2. So this is it right here, the ball game. First down or touchdown, Leroy wins. Otherwise, the Raiders are going to hang in there. What a finish. What a finish. Touchdown, Andrew Palladino.
Ran right out of his shoe, Larry. Kicked his shoe off, kept right on going.
There's the backup to Chad Clark coming through when they needed it.
He's been running very hard.
Coach Andrew Palladino's son, Andrew Jr., with the touchdown for the Knights. And that gives Leroy a 13-12 lead. I would imagine they'll go for two. There's really not any sense in kicking. A 14-12 lead isn't any better than a 13-12 lead. .25 to go, so Caledonia, they're going to kick it.
They are going to kick it.
Or else they're going to fake it. I'm surprised. Oh, Leroy Waste had to take a timeout there, which hopefully they won't need later. Minutes and 25 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter of this ball game. Leroy has just taken the lead 13-12 on a 7-yard touchdown run by Andrew Palladino as he went around the right side and burst into the end zone, shedding tacklers as he went. And now they're waiting to try the extra point. They lined up to kick the first, to kick it, and then they took a timeout. I thought it was because they had too many people on the field. Maybe, like I said, I don't see why they're kicking it, because 14-12 isn't any better than 13-12. I don't think.
They may not have had the thought process completed on whether they should kick it or not.
I don't see.
I agree with you, Larry.
I don't see number 90 back out there, so that he's the kicker, Scott Van Alst.
There goes the
tee.
Came close to hitting one of the Calmum cheerleaders, but all's well.
So if they make it, they'll be up 3, which even if Caledonia could kick a field goal, which I haven't seen them do this year, that would still be a tie. 14-12 really doesn't help a whole lot. Osher's up under center. Rolls out all by himself.
He's got it.
He's in for the 2, Justin Osher. That makes it 15-12 in favor of the Oaxaca Knights. And then we got one more opportunity for Calmum.
High school football at its best, Larry. The effort that we've seen by both teams in the last few minutes here says championship football.
I know that both of these schools are a lot smaller than some of the schools around the Rochester area. They're Class C schools, but as far as effort and intensity, I don't think there's anybody that plays any harder than these two teams.
Well, these schools could play with some of the bigger schools. I think we can agree on that. And, they're totally supported by the communities. You look out the window here and see the number of people that are sitting in these stands. And the Calmum-Leroy game has become a tradition. And again, like you said, it's wonderful to have this game, but it is too bad that one of these teams has to lose, because as we've seen in previous years, that when these teams go on, there's a real good chance that they're going to go all the way and win a state title.
Now we still got an opportunity here, because things can happen. We've seen a lot of turnovers tonight, mostly caused by good defensive plays. They've got looks like Matthijs is in to kick this one. They've used Matthijs and Dillo to kick off. Looks like this is Matthijs' turn here.
I don't think Matt Capitelli's thinking right now that this game's over.
Oh, I'm sure he's not. I think he might. Is he in on the kickoff this time? He might be. I know he's been in on some this year. There's the kick.
Nice little sidestep there. Got some running room, Larry.
Justin Osher trying to keep the angle on him. He did.
Still, it's a very nice return, and this game is not over by a long shot.
Adam Capitelli, Matt's brother, the sophomore, returned that kickoff. Justin Osher played it really well as the last man in the defensive line there. He didn't come up real quick and commit himself. He just kept cutting the angle down to the sideline to make sure he didn't run it all the way back. So Caledonia, with 2:14 to go, takes over at the Leroy 43-yard line. They have 2 timeouts remaining, so there's plenty of time. We'll see what they can do here.
I got a feeling we're going to see a lot of Matt Capitelli, Larry.
Well,
but they're spreading the field to the right.
Oh, there's a nice lane over there. Well, there's about 9 yards of Matt Capitelli. Let's see how Caledonia manages the clock here.
Caledonia spread the field, and
whoops, the referee just took another tumble there.
In essence, got some blockers out there in front of him.
He picked up about 9 on that play. Again, Caledonia has got to realize the clock is against them. That's the only thing I dislike about the quarterbacks running every play over to the sideline. It takes an extra few seconds. That's a first down. Caledonia should be right up on the ball now. They're on the 22-yard line. A minute and a half to go. The clock will be stopped momentarily while they move the chains.
That was a nice completion to Adam Capitelli. We've got the Capitelli brothers putting on a show right now.
Well, Leroy's doing their job, trying to keep them from beating them deep. Ball's at the 22. We've got a minute and a half to go, and the clock is running, and Caledonia's up to the ball. Great game, great finish. That's what high school sports is all about. That pass is complete, I believe. Caledonia's going to take a timeout with a minute. Minute 8 remaining. The ball is down to about the Leroy 12-yard line. Caledonia takes one of their 2 remaining timeouts. Chris Jones completed that pass. I believe that was again to Adam Capitelli.
It was Adam, and Cookmansky was right there to put the finishing touches on him as soon as he caught the ball.
This is going to be a heck of a finish here, Rick. There's going to be one side of the field that's going to, when this game is over, besides the fatigue, the emotions are going to be tremendous in both ways. One team's going to be so sad because they lost, and the other team's going to be so elated because they won. But it was a great football game. These two towns have, I think they've really enjoyed the last 2 years when they could root for each other. And they kind of, this year it's been kind of, says I hate to root against the other guy, but I have to because we're playing each other. You know, I've sensed that in both communities.
These kids play hard against one another, but these kids are close friends too.
Here we go. It's second and about 1. The ball at the 12. Capitelli's in the backfield. There's the sprint draw. Matt Capitelli, I think he got the first down. Now they got to get up to the ball.
He actually was hit by the big guy, Pat Ashley, in the backfield, and Matt kept those legs going, and well, we got to have the first down.
They got to be up there because there's only... Caledonia took their last time out. I don't know if they wanted to or not. I was watching that play, Rick. One of the Caledonia players signaled timeout, and Coach Monticelli, I think, tried to tell him no, get back out there, and somehow, rightfully, I guess, the referee saw the signal and called the timeout. So Caledonia is done. They have no more timeouts left.
And it is first and goal, and they
got to score. They're right on the 10.
Right on the 10, and I would imagine there's a little clock management discussion going right now because they're going to have to find ways to stop the clock other than using their timeouts, which have been used up.
This is just great finish. I mean, coaching staffs, all the players, the fans, it's just a great thing to see. I know I'm a little prejudiced, but I have ties with both schools, both coaching staffs, and it's a great way for the game to come to an end. First and goal, right at the 10. Minute 2 to go. Leroy leads 15-12. Here we go.
We got the crowd making some noise now, and there's some hearts a thumping in the crowd and out there on the field.
Here we go. Matt Capitelli. He didn't make it, but he got awfully darn close. They got to hurry up now. Well, they don't have to hurry up too much. They got to get... They got time. They've got plenty of time. They don't want to get a penalty here because they're not ready. Oh, he spiked the ball. I was surprised. Well, Leroy took their last time out with 30 seconds to go. Here we go.
I saw the defensive back.
I saw him trying to signal. I didn't know if he got it in time. Over on the right side.
I think Jimmy Keenan, the head linesman over here on this side, caught it and granted Leroy the timeout.
You know, the question is, Rick, how soon do you want to score if you're Caledonia? I mean, I know they want to score right now, but you're thinking, God, then we got to play defense and kick off to these guys again.
That's right.
Oh, this is a nail biter. You can see the people in the crowd here, their emotions are going just like the kids on the field. Leroy scores, the Leroy people are up and they're cheering. Caledonia comes back with that good kickoff return. Now their people are up cheering. It's really exciting.
Most of the people in the stands are up on their feet now.
Oh,
and,
I think so. Here it is, 10 after 11 on a Saturday night. Great place to be. Mark said he'd rather be eating a pizza, but not me. I already had one earlier. Then we've got some awards to do, Rick, after the game, the Outstanding Player Awards, which Krasinski always turns over to me, so I guess rightfully so. No, just because you're named Rick, you don't. Here we go, let's go. 30 seconds. Time for, well, it's second down. I think he's in, but they haven't given us a signal yet. Touchdown. Matt Capitelli. There were so many bodies lined up there. 19 seconds to go. Matt Capitelli behind his offensive line bulls his way into the end zone to put Caledonia Mumford up 18-15.
Now the extra point is important here because if they make an extra point, it does take the field goal out of the equation.
Van Alst has kicked a field goal this year, I believe, and I know he's practiced them a lot, so that's always in the equation. I'm sure Coach Monticelli, with all his years of experience, you know, he's aware of that. What a finish. Here we go. The extra points won't run any time off the clock. Chris Jones keeps it. He's in. That makes it 20-15. That eliminates the field goal possibility, as you said. Well, now let's see what's going to happen. What a barn burner.
Remember that Caledonia has not had a kickoff that's gone further than approximately 10, maybe 15 yards tonight. So if that happens again, they're going to put
with Justin Osher at the helm. If they get the ball anywhere, you know, anywhere actually, but especially up where they've been getting it, the 40, 45-yard line, he's a threat to put it down there, either on foot or in the air. So here we go. 19 seconds. Kickoff should take maybe 5 to 7 seconds off the clock, depending on how far it goes.
Leroy's going to have at least a couple of plays.
Yeah, they'll have a couple chances, barring penalties or anything like that. Somewhere tonight along Route 5, there's going to be some partying going on. Just a matter of whether it's 5 miles closer here or 6 miles down farther. Neither team, however, has anything to be ashamed of. And coaching staffs from both schools, I know there's going to be some disappointment, but they have nothing to be ashamed of at all.
Absolutely not, Larry. It's been a great high school football game.
I think you'll see Matt Capitelli on this kickoff team kind of hanging back just in case anybody gets a breakaway. Let's see where Steele's lining up to kick this one. Osher's probably back in the middle there. He's in there about the 30, 25-yard line.
He actually has it on a tee this time, Larry.
Well, let's see what happens. Shaughnessy's in there. Here we go. Steele to kick it.
Gets a good bounce.
That's the kickoff that they usually want. Oh, a reverse. Caledonia had that one smelled out. Andrew Palladino fielded that and threw it across the field to Christian Alexander, which was really a lateral. And then Caledonia was there, though. They stayed in their lanes, played it very well. They're down to 11 seconds, no timeouts, and the ball's at the 30-yard line. Guys, got time for maybe 2 plays, I would think.
Some real good coaching there. A good trick play tried by Leroy, and also some great coaching by Cal Mum to have their kids trained to stay in their lanes and knock that play down.
Coach Monticelli's run out to get the tee because I think he's killing off some nervous energy there. Here we go. Osher's in the shotgun. Ball snapped back to him. He's putting it up for grabs. Incomplete. 5 seconds remaining. One more play. One more play.
Broken up nicely that time by Ryan Zimber.
Now, Matt Capitelli, I think, is going to be playing deep center field. He's going to be back deeper than Bernie Williams on this one. We use Bernie, okay, Mark? We hope he doesn't trade for the Yankees or go somewhere else. Last play of the game, and what's been a tremendous football game. We've said it over and over again, but it deserves to be said. Neither one of these two teams deserves to lose. Unfortunately, somebody has to. Here we go. Snap ball to Osher. Throws a screen pass that looked like a hook and ladder, but that's the ball game. Time is out. That's the ball game. That was a hook and ladder, I think, Rick.
Sure was, and they had that one snipped out too.
Here's the emotions we were talking about. Both teams are deserving of a win, but unfortunately only one of them can walk away a victor tonight. Caledonia people are just, Caledonia's players are elated. Leroy's players definitely saddened, but what can you say? The camera tells the story.
This really is one of the greatest rivalries around here in high school football, and actually all the sports that these two towns play. And
two great coaching staffs, as you alluded to earlier. Excellent job in preparation. I mean, they know each other inside out, yet they both had something ready for the other guy tonight. Just a great job.
Great job. This game really had everything, Larry. There was some mistakes, some momentum shifts. There was some big plays. There were some great plays, and it's really a game that both teams should be proud of that they were in. And again, it's too bad somebody has to lose, and it's too bad Leroy has a disappointment now. But the fans have to go away from this game thinking that this was just one heck of a football game.
Oh, I've seen two of them this year between these two teams, and for 8 quarters, you couldn't put a sliver of paper between the two. I mean, that's how even they were. There were some errors tonight, some turnovers that are kind of uncommon, but most of it was caused by hard play. We've got to pick a couple players here, I guess. Are we going to take a break, Mark, or are we going to stick around? We're going to stick around? We got time? All right, we got to think of MVP. We got to think of best offensive player. Osher and Capitelli got to be in there somewhere. And I think Osher might be the best offensive back. And I guess since it's hard to tell because they vote ahead of time. Maybe they already picked it before that last touchdown. Who do you want, Rick? I'll give you a choice.
Well, I think you're probably going to go with the team that won the game, and Matt would be the most valuable player. I also have become more and more impressed with Pat Ashley, the offensive lineman, defensive lineman for Leroy. For a big fella, he's got some great agility. He's got a tremendous future in front of him. But I think overall,
Mike Cox did an excellent job on defense.
Mike Cox did a great job on defense. It seems like we were calling Gilman's name quite a few times too.
And Leroy, of course, we mentioned Pat Ashley, but Tom Shaughnessy did a pretty good job in that linebacker spot.
He sure did.
As well as on offense. It's a toss-up. I mean, whoever gets it is definitely deserving.